We're going to learn about the least common multiple. Least meaning small, common, shared, and multiple. Multiples are when you count by a number. For instance, in first grade or kindergarten, when you learn to count by twos, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, those are all multiples of 2. Multiples go on forever. They are never ending. They do not stop. So you would never, ever, ever want to have to find the greatest, largest multiple because that would be an infinite job. You could never do it. It could never be completed. Let me show you. Multiples of 5 are 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10, 5 times 3 is 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And since numbers are infinite, I could go on forever multiplying by 5. It would never end. Multiples of 7. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 3, 21. 28, 35, 42, 49. And again, since numbers are unending and can continue in both directions, negative and positive, forever, I could count multiples for the rest of my life. Don't want to do that, but I could do it. All right, so since multiples go on forever, that's why we look for the least common multiple. Because if we were looking for the largest multiple, we would spend our whole entire life looking and we would never ever find it. The least common multiple can be found. Let's look on both lists, the multiples of 5 and the multiples of 7, and see if we can see anything that they both have in common. I see on the 5 list 35, and I also see 35 on 7's list. So, the smallest multiple that they both have in common seems to be 35. So the least common multiple is the smallest number that is common between two or more lists of multiples. Let's put it to practical use. When would you have to know what the least common multiple of two numbers? Well, here's the scenario. Monica saw her friend Lauren on Main Street today. Monica goes to Main Street every 4 days. Lauren goes to Main Street every 3 days. How many days will it be before they see each other on Main Street again? Okay, well, let's see. Monica goes to Main Street every 4 days, and Lauren goes every 3 days. So let's write down both of those numbers, 4 and 3. Let's just list multiples of both of those numbers. Now, the reason why I know that I'm listing multiples is because I'm looking for a future number, a larger number, something coming up in the future, something that's going to happen to come. So we're counting on, we're counting forward. This is going to be a larger number. We're not splitting anything up. This is a future event that we're looking for. So I know that I'm looking for a multiple, a larger number. Let's count 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and I'm going to stop there. Let's go to 3. 3 times 1 is 3, times 2 is 6, 9, 12, and I see a number that they both have in common. I can stop when I find that common or shared multiple. So in 12 days, they will see each other again on Main Street. Let's try to find some common multiples together. Let's look at 5 and 3. Okay, for 5, I can list out 5, 10, 15, 20, 3. I can list out 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and I see that they have a common multiple, 15. I can go over here to 6 and 8 and do the same and say 6, 12, 18, 24. I'm going to 8 and do the same, 8, 16, 24, and I can stop when I see that they have something in common. So the least common multiple would be 24. Now, there is another way to find the least common multiple. The steps that we just took in finding the least common multiple are these. List the multiples, circle the first number on both lists. So we listed the multiples and we circled the first number that was on both of the lists. Okay, let's look at the second way that we could find the least common multiple. Now the second way is using a prime factorization tree. So we are going to break 5 down, but 5 is already prime, so we can stop right there. 3 is also already prime, so all I simply need to do is multiply 5 times 3, and I've got my least common multiple, which would be 15. All right, 6 and 8, I can break into a factorization tree. That gives me 3 and 2, 4 and 2, and then I can break the 4 into 2 times 2. I'm going to look to see what they both have in common. Their greatest common factor is 2. So I write that down, and then I'm going to multiply that 2 by all the other prime numbers on the trees. So 2 times 2 times 2, that's that 2 and that one, times 3. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 3 is 24. So the least common multiple of 6 and 8 is 24. So using a prime factorization tree, we also found the least common multiple, and here are the steps for that. You can break down the numbers into prime factors and multiply the greatest common factor by the